I feel like everywhere I look lately, people are struggling. Like even I'll watch YouTube. There's a whole bunch of different channels I watch, but some of the ones you go to, like they made their name or they got their subscribers kind of being the place to go for inspiration or when you're struggling. And like literally just got off one. Dude's name is Chad. I forget Chad. He says like sweat talk with Chad or something like that. He just walks around like a forest and just talks about stuff. And that dude was struggling. And I was like, damn, dude. People are having a hard time. And it's like, that sucks, but also it makes you feel a little bit better, I guess, if you feel like you're not exactly on the ascension path, like not on the route up. And, you know, everybody goes through phases. Everybody goes through, like, let's call them character building seasons. And I was just thinking about that. And I have all these notes in my phone. I need to like try to compile them better. But I'll have just a random note where I'll put a bunch of things in there and I'll title it whatever, and then I'll basically never see it again. And then every now and then I'll go through just looking for stuff, you know, just thinking, kind of like daydreaming in a way, something like that. And thinking about how everybody's struggling. It's like, why? Why is everybody? And one of the notes I had in there that kind of clicked is that I don't know if it's just modern society, if it's America in general, if it's just this time period, if it's whatever it is. But one of the notes was that we largely are programmed not to lose. Like a lot of people, we're very focused on not losing. We're not focusing on trying to win. We're focusing on not losing, which is a humongous difference. It's like running away from something is a very, very, very different feeling than running towards something. Even if you're running at the exact same speed, you know, like that's a whole different kind of movie. Like the person that's running away from like the killer that always just has to walk for some reason. Or if you're like running towards, I don't know, like if they're going to the lake and you know the killer's chasing you around the lake, but if you're just running towards the lake, you don't even know the killer's there yet. Like the beginning part of the movie, they're having a blast. Later on, they're at the same lake, running away, not having so much fun anymore. You know, like I get that that's not the exact situation, but it is a type of programming, being programmed to not lose. Because then, what is success? Success is just not losing. When you're programmed to not lose, you haven't even necessarily defined the terms for winning, because the winning terms are simply not losing. That's a terrible way to live life. And also in the same little note, I think it said like audit your thoughts or something like that. I don't know where the hell my head was at when I wrote that stuff, but it's true, because that's kind of what you need to do. Like, why are you okay with just not losing? Just not losing. Like, if you're playing Monopoly with 4 people, love Monopoly, by the way, great game. My son loves it even more than me, which is crazy. And your goal isn't to win, your goal is to not lose. That sucks. That makes it way less fun to play. Like, hey, how was it? Well, I didn't lose. It's like, all right, that's not okay. I mean, if that's what you're into, I guess that's cool. But like, wouldn't it feel better to say, I won? That's a game, but I mean, life is kind of a game too. Like, I won, and maybe part of it, probably a lot of it, it just kind of came to me a little bit, is just that if you're only playing to not lose, your odds of actually losing are much lower than if you're playing to win. Maybe that's the whole thing right there, right? Because if you're playing Monopoly with 4 people and you want to win and you're talking smack the whole time about how you're going to kick somebody's butt or whatever, and you don't win, well, then you didn't attain your goal. You didn't win. You lost. But if your goal is just simply to not lose and you come in second place, well, you didn't win, but you kind of still got your goal because you didn't lose, which would be last place, I guess. Or maybe you get eliminated first. That would be losing. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example, but the point remains. If you don't outline what success looks like, it's a lot harder to tell yourself you lost or you failed. Failure, that's a terrible word, right? You failed. Like, I'm okay with that word, failing. There's a book I read, can't remember the name of the book, but it was all about a growth mindset. You either have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And fixed mindset are those people who will kind of, like, even the smallest little loss, it kind of like destabilizes them because it's attached to like their whole entire like ego or their whole entire like everything. If they lose or they mess up at something, like they can really get down on themselves. And I do too, to a degree with stuff. But also I'm okay with losing or with failing because that's not the entirety of me. There's a bunch of things that I'm decent at, or there's a bunch of things that I'm really good at. And I know that if I'm not, I can learn, I can get better, I can still succeed, in a million other things. And then there's the growth mindset, which is just like, they're just okay being beginners. Like, you realize, like, it's not me. Like, I just did bad at this. It's kind of like what I was saying. I just did bad at this thing. It's just one little, 1/1,000,000th of somebody's personality is whatever the thing is that they just failed at, or that they're just learning about, or that they haven't been doing as long as somebody else. It's like, it's so insignificant, but how you frame it gives it that significance that either makes you feel like embarrassed or like whatever. It's one tiny little thing. Being in like a skilled trade, definitely I can go through that sometimes because my work, it's very much dependent on like what kind of a day you're having, in a sense, and then like using natural materials and things. Like, sometimes you can polish something that's very easy to polish, just as an example, and sometimes something else is immensely difficult to polish. It's essentially the exact same task, but 2 different substrates, 2 different materials make a massive difference. And then, one of them, you'll be like, dude, why can I not do this right now? Like, this is like, feels impossible. Like, I cannot get this thing right. I cannot get it good enough to where it needs to be, in order for it to be acceptable or to give to a customer, or be like whatever you consider to be done, which a lot of people consider to be good enough, but that's a whole nother story. I hate that shit. But some days you just, in that kind of a trade, like, I will absolutely doubt myself. Like, why can I not do this thing right now? And it makes me feel really bad about, myself and my abilities, because it's my trade. It's something I've been doing for 20 years or more at this point. But when I actually zoom out and look at it, there's a lot of variables that some of them you can control, some of them you can't control. A natural material is a natural material. The area that you're polishing might be unlike anything anybody's ever actually dealt with before. Just because it's the same material doesn't mean it's actually the same material. It's just got, the same name because it's got to be categorized somehow. But that can definitely make me feel like I have that fixed mindset and like I'm tying too much of my ego to one small, tiny thing. Because I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of things that were top-notch, top quality, that went into multi-million-dollar homes. A lot of the work that I've done has been absolutely beautiful and premier. So then when you do something that should be really simple or seems really simple on its face, and like you mess it up, or it takes you like 5 times longer than it should take you, then I'll start to be like totally doubting everything. And at those times, I definitely revert into just trying not to lose. Like, I'm just like, man, I just want to be done with this. Like, I just want it to be like done. Like, doing my best is already like, I have passed that exit ramp like 3 hours ago, because I kept trying to do my best and make it worse, and then I made it worse, and then I made it worse, and now I'm just trying to get the hell off of this thing, and that's, yeah. So being in a skilled trade, I definitely understand struggling. I definitely understand tying your ego to a tiny little thing. And I definitely understand playing something or being programmed to try to not lose, just trying to get something done. But if you actually audit your thoughts and you plan your day, you plan the event, or you plan the thing, or you plan the game, or whatever it is, don't do it that way. Do it from the stance of, I want to win, from the stance of, I want to succeed, from the stance of, like, where you define what winning looks like, so then you have to define what failure looks like. And that's harder. It's scarier in a lot of ways, but the feeling of running towards something feels so much better than running away from something. Unless you're one of those people who's like, I'm not running anywhere. I hate running. Yeah, me too, sometimes. But it's like, Phoebe on Friends was like, when you're running towards the swings, like being all happy, yeah, run towards stuff in life like that. Like you did as a kid when they let you out for recess and you ran towards the swings. That was the best. If only we knew, at the time, that like that shit would be something that you look back on like, man, I wish I could go back and like go to recess. And my biggest worry was like, dude, I hope I get the good swing. And your buddy's like, nah, man, I'm going to beat you to it. I'm getting the good swing. And you're like, man, I hate that kid. He's faster than me. He's totally going to get the good swing. I don't know, just something to consider. I know a lot of people are struggling. At least that's how it seems in whatever the zeitgeist that I'm surrounded with. Is that the right term? I don't know, the circle of influence from the digital overlords that decided what to serve me on the algorithm recently has been showing me a lot of people struggling. Seems like a lot of people in life are struggling. I don't know. Oh, I saw a guy. I was at the convenience store and a guy just walked up and I was like, okay, maybe he's homeless or something. Cause he like reached in the trash can right outside the convenience store and he went in and I was like, if he's like picking through the garbage, I'd be surprised if he had money to buy something from the convenience store, but whatever. And he went in and he came out with another bag. But then I'm thinking now it was maybe something shady. Like somebody put something for him in the garbage can, because when he first, before he went in and he reached in the garbage can, he pulled out a bag and he set it like on top of the garbage can. And then when he went into the convenience store and came out with like his bag, he walked out and around my car and then went back up to the garbage can and then grabbed that other bag that he had set on top of the garbage can from inside of the garbage can and then continued on his way. So I'm like, I don't know, that looks pretty shady. I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, some kind of a covert drug deal, or like, man, what if it was like somebody is like, yeah, I put your money in the garbage at the convenience store, you know, Big Tony, go ahead and go get it, or something like that. I don't know. But it was just crazy. Just happened a little bit ago. Anyway, I love you. Have a good day. Bye.